So, good morning. I so appreciate y'all for joining us this morning so we can do another Q&A to share with our network. And this time, we have folks in our network for as long as we can remember who are interested in serving families through whether it's a group child care or some sort of level of child care facility. So, I appreciate you this morning by helping us provide more answers to our media network and anybody who will tune in and watch this YouTube video later. So I am Sabrina Madison. I am the founder and director of the Progress Center for Black Women. We're located downtown on the square at 30 West Mifflin Street. And one of the things that we do is get people answers. So that's what we're here for today, to get folks answers who are interested in some level of serving families around their childcare needs. So Jazmynn, I'll hand it off to you.
Yes, hello everyone. I am Jazmynn. I am the Chief Director of Entrepreneurial Growth and Innovation. So, all things entrepreneurship is what I do, and I am the point of contact for entrepreneurs in our network. So, I've had a lot of entrepreneurs reach out about starting childcare facilities. So, I'm excited about being able to put this information out there to them.
Perfect. Chrisia, thank you for joining us this morning. Tell us who you are and what do you do?
Yeah, so I go by Chris, just it's easier for everyone. But I am the bilingual administrative assistant for the certification department. So that's an in-home daycare regulation. And I help the other departments as well with like any Spanish speakers. So yeah, Hannah.
Okay. Hi, I'm Hannah Ellert. I am the certification specialist and the pre-licensing technical consultant at 4C. So I am in the same department as Chris, and she helps me with Spanish speakers for
Oh, wow.
pre-licensing. Yeah.
And I literally just bypass. Where do y'all work? Who you work for? I didn't even ask that question. I just got going.
It's okay. Yeah, 4C.
For
4C.
perfect. All right, well, we're just going to get right into it. So, the plan is for anyone listening, these are the questions or the areas of information that we most hear from community members about. And so, I'll just start at the top. So, what kind of licensing and or permits are needed to open a child care facility? And is there anything different, like maybe help us define child care facility? Because it seems like there are different kinds of child care facilities.
So at least for certification, it's going to be in a home. It can be an apartment, a townhouse, duplex, whatever. Basically, there's no specific permits for that as far as the location, but there are specific requirements as far as the home safety and what you need to have in the home, which is something that we provide the rules and laws before they even get regulated so they can kind of go over it and see if that's really something they want to do, and so they can just be prepared. And then there's an in-home, like initial home visit, which we go over everything, make sure they're good to go. But at least that's specific to certification, a home. So
Okay. And then, so are you saying like if I live in like a 4 family or 8 family building, like one of those, the apartment that I live in could potentially be an in-home facility?
correct.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. All righty. And so, what is the difference between, or is there a huge difference, or what is the difference if you have a traditional sort of like retail space that you want to become your childcare facility? What does that look like?
I can jump in. Okay, so certification is one thing. So certification is accepted for uh, we use the language of multi-dwelling units.
Mm,
And so you can be licensed for your single family home or duplex, so
mhm,
that there's that option with different group size. And retail office or any commercial building that is considered as a group childcare facility. So if you want to serve 9 or more children who are not related to you under the age of 7, you do need to pursue the group childcare license. And the process is different for already existing childcare facility purchase versus, hi, I have this retail space that was never ever been a childcare space, but I would like to convert that into a childcare space. There are different processes for that.
Gotcha. Oh, goodness. All right. So Jazmynn, I did add a question to our questions just about hopefully that question makes sense about like how many. So I'll take that one and you take the one after this one, Jazmynn.
Okay.
But so thinking about in-home childcares and or a group facility, how many do you happen to know how many educators or childcare teachers are required per number of children? Like how many, like if you have 4 kids versus 8 versus 12 versus 20, like how does that look?
At least for certification, there's just the one main regulated certified provider.
Mm,
The max group size is 6 children. And even if you were to have a substitute or an assistant, it doesn't change the amount of children you can have, but
mm,
that's for certification. So mainly there's just the one person, maybe a substitute or an assistant as well helping out, but
mhm.
it's not a requirement. Like the max group size is 6. And then
Gotcha. Gotcha. So I can't have 20 kids in my apartment and it's just me and I get certified is what you're saying.
no,
Okay.
no.
I want to be sure. No. All right, Jasmine, I'll let you take the next one.
Okay, sounds good. So the next question that we have is if someone is looking to do a daycare facility outside of the home, how would they go about starting the process of potentially finding a location? Or do you guys, refer people to other outside sources for that? What does that look like?
So they come to me. Woo. I help each client find a location. Not to find a location, I help with looking at the floor plans, the exit requirements to age groups. I start supporting them right away. And if anyone is interested, you can submit an EOI, expression of interest. That's how you can connect with us. If you're interested or not sure about which regulation they want to go to, the first step is to submit the EOI.
Gotcha.
Sure. Makes
All right.
sense.
Go ahead. You can take the next one, Jasmine.
Okay. So other than the basic licensing and permits that they may need, are there any other certifications or education that they may need that is required for them to run a daycare facility?
Yes, for group childcare center, you will need to be qualified for a center director and or administrator role. So those individuals who will have those roles will need to be qualified. Um,
Okay.
and and the teachers as well. So teachers who will be working with children, there are some requirements, the pre-service trainings that they need to complete.
Gotcha.
Is there any like degrees that they may need to qualify for being a daycare teacher, or like is there anything like, having that CPR certification beforehand, just stuff like that that they'll need as well?
Yes, so CPR, abusive head trauma training, for children under the age of 5, I'm sorry, sudden infant death syndrome training, so SIDS training for infants, and then mandated reporter trainings. Those are all required trainings for anyone who's caring for children. And then things get really specific with what role do you have? What kind of early childhood development course you have, business course type of thing. Then things get more specific for each role at a group childcare center setting.
Okay. Do you guys provide any of those trainings by chance?
Yes, we do
Okay.
here at 4C. There are many other DCF approved agencies, and there is a list that is available that's published by DCF. But yes, 4C is one of the agencies that offer those trainings.
Is DCF Department of Children and Family Services?
Yes,
Okay, perfect.
yes,
All righty. I'm always like, just to make sure.
yes.
All right. Any other questions before I ask the next one, Jasmine? Any follow-up? All right. Is it possible? Oh, see, here we go. Technology turns the light off on me. But is it possible to open a 24-hour day child care center in our area?
Yes.
I'm gonna just any follow-up questions where I get my lights back on, Jasmine.
So have you guys seen any examples of people who have reached out to open a 24-hour daycare, and or do you know of any facilities that may be currently operating right now, and what may have differentiated them opening a 24-hour versus like a normal daycare facility?
That's a great question. I've had some clients talk about 24-hour facility, but when I help each client, they are just opening up their business. So
Mhm.
they do not have enough staff to do the 24-hour care
Right.
right away. So I have not seen any facilities operating that way.
Mhm.
Um, but I've had conversations about that. Yes.
Have you also seen like some, I know usually daycare hours are, during normal business hours in the daytime, but have you seen people open up successfully like nighttime daycare facilities, like maybe a 10 to 6 a.m. Kind of situation for those who may work like knock shifts?
In a group childcare setting or a in-home setting?
Either or, because I have had people reach out about either one.
Yeah, certification. So more for at-home environment.
Mhm.
We do see night care
Okay.
providers. Yes.
Perfect. All right. So anything you can share about maybe how to find a mentor in this industry? Because, I'm a fan of what you don't know, learn from someone else or shadow or, spend some time with them. So what has that looked like if you can share anything about that, if at all?
If you are interested in becoming a childcare provider, childcare business owner, or if you're just thinking about, I don't know what my options are, please come to myself or Chris, for guidance. We would love to guide you through what kind of regulations, gonna fit you the best. We can provide resources and guidance and all the good stuff. So
Oh, wow.
yeah.
I love it. I love it. So I also happen to serve in an elected role, and both in my elected role and in my role at the Progress Center, we continuously hear in both roles that childcare is so needed, like absolutely needed, and that we're so behind on serving those needs. But is there a particular kind of childcare specifically that you feel like we need more of, or just across the board?
Infants and toddler care are
Infant.
much needed. And so for pre-licensing, we serve Southern region. So we
Mhm.
have 11 counties in Wisconsin that we serve. And I get to work with each municipality level, very local level.
Mhm.
And I can confidently tell you that it has been pretty consistent that infants and toddler cares are needed in each area.
Wow.
Um, yeah.
So speaking of that, then does I would imagine let me say I'd not imagine because the most childcare I've been doing is watching my 3-year-old, or not my 3-year-old, my 3-year-old nephew, and it's more like he's watching me to a degree. So does the training look different for infant and toddlers, or is it just, is there like how does that look if someone who thought they would get into this and they were thinking more about older children, but they want to also serve kind of like fill this gap and now they're considering infant and toddlers? Does that look different than older children?
Just one additional training for those individuals. It's the fundamentals of infants and toddlers course that they need to complete. But I think that the group childcare setting, commercial building setting,
Mhm.
it is really hard to find a facility that meets the requirement for building codes.
Mhm.
I I just think that that's a big barrier.
Gotcha.
Um, yeah.
Gotcha. Well, it sounds like I may, no, just joking. I'm like, oh, I may start a childcare facility in my apartment on the fourth floor on the Far East Side. But really, those kids will be watching me. So if you see me come through talking about I want to start a facility, don't let me do it. Don't let me do it. I've only wanted to do it because I thought this would be a fun way to spend times with kids that I can send back to their parents. All righty. So, you want to take this next one, Jazmynn? Because I think I've been talking,
Sure.
you know.
Yeah, so is there anything that you feel is essential for potential providers to know when going into this field, when reaching out to you? Like, is there any just like some key things that they should take note of when they're going into opening a childcare facility, or anything that we may have missed in this conversation?
I think it is a big decision and it is a scary one for many. Maybe you're leaving your current job to do this, your dream and vision and all of that. Um, Myself, Chris, and other staff at 4C, we are very skilled. We have been doing this for years. Um, Come to us, come to 4C, and we will take really good care of you. We'll provide resources, we'll provide data, we provide guidance. Again, like I said in the earlier, just come to us, and we'll guide you through your vision. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that.
I love that.
What do you think, Chris? I'm sorry, I'm gonna mute myself now.
Oh yeah, I mean that's basically what I always say. A lot of people, they tell me, this is kind of scary. It's a lot of information. It's a little bit overwhelming, and I'm like, I totally get it,
Mhm.
especially if you have never worked in this field. But I always let them know you will always have with you, if it's certification, if it's licensing, there's someone for you that's helping you. We give out a lot of resources. There are a lot of resources out there. So you don't really have to worry. Like, if you really want to do this, you will have a lot of help and guidance, like Hannah said. And like, yes, it can be a lot of work, but it's definitely doable.
Perfect. I love
Nice.
that because data and guidance, when you're the founder of anything, whether it's a for-profit, nonprofit, whatever the thing is, those are two huge things that you're going to need in your work. So to
Mhm.
close up, how do folks reach you? What is the best way to contact you? If they're reading this, they're like, oh my gosh, these are two dope and brilliant folks I want to connect with. They are allowing me to really start to flesh out my plan for a facility. They really love kids, and now they're like, yes, I'm getting in. How do they reach y'all?
So specifically for certification, they can reach me at 608-216-7019. They can actually just go to our website. It's 4-c.org, and they'll have all of our contact information depending on which department. If they don't remember the phone number, that's good as well. And then Hannah can give her specific phone number as well.
Yeah, or email is best for me. Yep, everything I can send out in email and I can send out an attachment that way. So yeah, email is best for us. It's on the website, like Chris said.
Perfect. So we will be sure to include the website address on this as well. Well, I just want to say I super, super enjoyed this conversation. I think I will not be starting a childcare facility and I will stick to running the Progress Center and serving as Alder. And don't allow me to start it because I'm telling you, me and those kids will just be in there hanging out at my house. We won't be doing anything learning. Not at all. Not at all. All right. Go for it, Jazmynn.
Oh, and I did just want to make a note too for anyone who is interested after hearing this conversation, um, that I do have both of these ladies' contacts, so you guys can also reach out to me and I can provide you with their information to get a hold of them. And I did just have one more question. Are you guys also comfortable with like myself sitting in on any meetings that you may set if an entrepreneur reaches out to you from our network? And they may want someone in to kind of sit with them and help advocate or ask questions. Are you guys also okay with like me sitting on those meetings too?
I'm okay with it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Mhm.
perfect. Sounds good.
Awesome. Perfect. Well, we absolutely are happy and excited to have 4C with us today, getting these questions answered that we can't answer because we don't do childcare, but we are a fan of going to the folks who have the information that our network is asking us for. So we can kind of like, break those barriers between not knowing and knowing. So anything 4C wants to share at the end, and then we'll wrap it up. Nope, we got
Just
it
that,
all.
yeah, whenever
Perfect.
they have any questions, they can reach out to us. We're available, like Hannah said, by phone, email, whichever.